can you? Anyway, get a load of this boss chunk. That's the thing people say, right? Man, this figure is like an absolute unit. I kind of want to buy one, but where would I put him? Wait, don't answer that question.
Welcome to my world. From Todd McFarlane's Spawn, Cy-Gor, Spawn, Shadowhawk, Mask, Clown 2, Exoskeleton. All new, all action, all yours from the world of Spawn. Each sold separately. Welcome to my world.
So I went ahead and got one, but was there any question whether I was going to or not? This is a figure that Spawn enthusiasts might... Don't say it. Don't say it. This is the figure that Spawn enthusiasts might go ape for. I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's talk about this big hunk of plastic we got right here before us. So colossal, in fact, that I'm having trouble keeping it in frame without revealing what's behind the set, if you can call this a set. This is another figure with limited articulation, just basic 5 points, each leg at the hip, basically, each arm at the shoulder, and the head at the neck. Even given the limited articulation, it cannot be denied that the sculpting on this thing is tremendous. I mean, just look at it. It is quite impressive. This is a Cy-Gor from McFarlane Toys Raw 10 action figure line. Rotten, Raw 10, rotten, I guess that's the joke there. Kind of evokes a Madballs Garbage Pail Kids kind of vibe to me. I think most people that would be interested in collecting this that aren't children and are Spawn fans are just gonna pretend that he's the traditional Cy-Gor that they all remember from the comic books anyway. Although bad news, the Cy-Gor from the comic books is dead. Although he's been resurrected as sort of a mindless drone by Al Simmons and bound to him by some sort of magical whatnot. I've only read like one issue in many years, so that's about as up to speed as I am on the Spawn storyline. But yeah, he's using Cy-Gor and Overkill as pawns in his ongoing war with whoever the new big bad guy is. I don't even know for sure. I cannot recall. So this particular Cy-Gor has been retconned. There's no mention of Al Simmons at all, Spawn at all. It's probably kind of a hard sell these days, being a Hellspawn and all, in the kids' friendly toy aisle. The original Cy-Gor was one of Spawn's friends, and they took his brain and put it into the Cy-Gor body. There's no mention of that in this particular version whatsoever. The other figures in this selection are Friend Z, who's another one of the sort of larger $20 range figures, and then Raptar, not to be confused with Reptar of that one cartoon show's fame, and Battlesnake, which I admit is probably the best, one of the most clever names of the group. Although I do have questions about some of the price tag cards, some of the price tags that were on the shelf for these toys. Frenzy, okay, that seems pretty accurate, pretty straightforward. Gorilla, that just seems a bit lazy. Cobra Khan, what the heck is going on here? Rapture? Is the person that made those tags, are they okay? Now that we've covered the basics, that the sculpting is pretty darn impressive and the articulation is slightly limited, let's go ahead and crack this guy open and take a closer look. You may have noticed in the packaging you get this little item here that is, yeah, a little bio of all of the figures available currently. And all of this folds out into a little mini poster. So that's a nice little addition. Or stuff that'll go directly in the garbage, depending on how you feel about it. Now let's get back to that figure. As I said, no less impressive. But yeah, Arms down. Still looks scary. Throws the balance off a little bit of the figure with the arms down in the front like that. There he's a little bit more balanced, but man, massive, massive, massive creature right there. That is pretty crazy. But I am enjoying it, yeah. Basic articulation, kind of some weird posing. Has the sculpting kind of built in, the pose, the battle pose kind of built in, like a lot of old McFarlane figures used to have back in the day, if you recall those. Don't have any handy to show as comparison at the moment. I do have the deluxe Cy-Gor from 1998, I think, which was about in this size, but not quite this bulky. And I have some of the old original Cy-Gors too, in the different repainted color schemes. So yeah, but still, nothing quite as impressive as this creature right here. This figure, in my opinion, even with the limited articulation, is a winner just from the scale and the attention to detail. And he's just, yeah, he's a boss fight waiting to happen. He's I'm really impressed by this thing. Definitely. If you're a Spawn fan, even though they've sort of retconned out the original origin story of Cy-Gor, just pretend, man. Just have him be your OG Cy-Gor, and there's, yeah, put him on the shelf if you're got a Spawn display or whatever, man. That is definitely a must-have, in my opinion. And on that note, let's take a look at, just for fun, him next to the Mortal Kombat McFarlane Toys Spawn figure. I think they match up quite well. And if you're gonna say gorillas aren't that big, man, gorillas aren't that big compared to a person, first of all, you know, I'm not really sure. I've seen some pretty huge gorillas. And also, Cy-Gor was always rendered in whatever media or medium as being like, you know, pretty much as big as a house most of the time. You know, small as a, or as big as a two-story building, pretty much, in most of the things I've ever seen him in. Maybe his first appearances he wasn't so huge, but it wasn't too long after his first appearance where he was just always drawn as being gigantic and several times larger than Spawn. So anyway, I think it's a great figure. I really do. I think it's fantastic. I think it would fit in well on a shelf. I think it would fit in very well on a shelf with a 7-inch Spawn figure. Could mix in well with your other McFarlane. They've taken over the DC license. Could fit in well with those figures also. Yeah, I think it just really works. It's really cool. The only real complaint might be shelf space. If you've got the space for that beast back there. Yeah, and you could also work with your 6-inch figures because it's only, you know, the scale would only be a little bit more extreme. So yeah, I think it's a winner. I think it's good stuff. I am enjoying it and I'm impressed by it. And yeah, pick it up. I guess the only other thing I can say is, as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time, I will see ya.
have no bananas. We have no bananas today.